Hi, friends and family. Welcome to today's news. Thank you for being part of this great family. This is Destiny Media. Yes, today news. Today news shocked me to my marrows and bones. Ex-pastor of Dunamis Church came out to say that all the miracles they see in Dunamis Church are fake. Guys, this is very, very terrible. This is very strong. This one is very loud. Pastor Daniel, Abraham Daniel, an ex-pastor in Dunamis, shared his encounter with Pastor Dr. Paul Enenche. At the same time, another ex-pastor also came out to defend the whole thing and say that there are real miracles happening in Dunamis. Guys, how do we handle this? This one is very loud. Let's watch the videos. We are going to play the video of ex-pastor, Pastor Abraham Daniels. After that, we'll come and play another video of another ex-pastor, Pastor Oleche King Adaji, who is defending Dunamis and defending Dr. Pastor Paul Enenche. Let's go into this, guys. Then we'll come back and do the real analysis. Guys, today's news is great. We are going to do justice to this. Who is lying? Let's find out. Guys, let's watch the video. Watch the video of ex-pastor, or do I call it pastor? Pastor Abraham Daniels. Guys, let's watch it. We'll come back to it.
We've heard about so many miracles, testimonies of this. The blind received the sight, the crippled walked, this one. At some point, in fact, I think what caused the latest fight between Enenche and Damina was when Damina made a post raising clutches, new clutches, with a picture of Enenche, and it became a problem. So you've been there. And I know you as a very bold, vocal person who must have gone through some troubles because of the revelations you've been given since you left the church. Tell us, these miracles, are they true? Have you witnessed any of them? Like, can you confidently, categorically state with every single iota of conviction in you that some of these miracles, or all of them, are real?
It's a very strong question, but I'll answer you. I will tell you, Captain, no. And it's with due respect to him and to Dunamis Church. I have nothing to lose or gain.
You're saying no, that the miracles are not real?
Are not real. They don't happen. Let me tell you, give you an instance. One major reason why I left is the frustration I had. After healing and deliverance service, we have more people that need healing than people that came for healing. I don't know whether you got me. After the healing service, you see people still want to see daddy for prayer. People,
I need to drink water.
Please drink water. People frustrated. You could see frustration. And as a pastor, because when daddy has gone, the wahala now is left for us. Because they have to meet us. Oh, pastor, please, I need to see daddy. I brought this person, I brought that person. And people, I'm like, whoa, where do I start from? Like, you could see pain.
So what you're saying is that the real people, the real sick people that were brought for healing do not receive healing, but then strangers receive healing. Is that what you're saying?
Now, you see, let me tell you something. When you're on the stage, it's different from reality. When you are in a crowded atmosphere, charged with, disco light and bam, 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 or the music is slow, your emotion is being tapped into, it's different ball game when the lights are off and you have to face reality. Now, most time when people, there's what I call environmental influence. For instance, if you are where Burna Boy or Davido or Michael Jackson is doing event and maybe you had malaria or maybe headache, you could be carried away with the dance. You won't even remember you had headache. It is after the whole thing when everybody make with the go house now. Like, what? This thing, they disturb me.
It's back.
That is when reality comes. Or maybe you are in a stadium and they say, a tiger is here. If you're not careful, a cripple will jump a fence. A cripple will jump a fence.
That is true.
A tiger is here, or a lion is here. People will do what the unthinkable. Now, that is what I call the environmental effect. So when pastors or maybe Dr. Paul and is doing all of that, you see that emotion. So pastor, it is after the lights are off. Now, the same person now is, okay, walk now. Say, that's my stick I brought. Can I have it back? I have seen. Now, as a pastor, and with
people, I told you that today's news, this one is very loud. Today's own, it shocked my marrows and bones. What you have just watched is Pastor Abraham Daniels. Let's just give some highlight on what Pastor Abraham Daniel mentioned on the alleged accusation, because it's not proven if it's true or not. We don't know who is lying. So this is alleged accusation. First, he made mention in the video, in the interview, that he had been a pastor for 20-something years. He had been a pastor for 20-something years, but he have worked with Pastor Enenche for 10 good years. He have worked with Pastor Enenche for 10 good years, and he worked in he handled different posts. He once worked as a marketer in Pastor Enenche's church. He also said that why he's not happy and he left was that there are pastors that have stayed in dunamis for 10 years to 15 years, but have not climbed altar. 2, the moderator asked him, why do you stop being a pastor? Why do you stop being a pastor? And this is what he said. He said, when people call me daddy and I don't have capacity to daddy them, that is my problem. When people call me daddy and I don't have capacity to daddy them, that is the problem. He said his greatest asset is humanity, guys. His greatest asset is humanity. He said they started using my ex-wife against me. They started using his ex-wife. He said one day he told his ex-wife that he's not going again. He's not going to this church again. If it can lead to divorce, it's okay. Seriously, they were divorced. So what we are trying to say here is that the encounter he had with dunamis led to his divorce. He said it clear. He said, Paul Enenche took me to prison. That Dr. Pastor Paul Enenche took him to prison. I'm just trying to read out all the things that this pastor allegedly accused Pastor Dr. Paul Enenche of. He said, I can call four or five pastors that have left dunamis and today they buy. Although he made mention that he cannot say it's Pastor Paul Enenche that buy them, but he was not mentioning how they tried to frustrate him in the whole ordeal. He said the miracles in dunamis are fake. Oh my God. Who is this man? One more thing he mentioned. He said, the Pastor Enenche will give you a message to preach. We are still going to come back to this point to do justice to it. I'm just trying to read out all the accusation. He said at the time he started a free school at the headquarters. He started a free school, but from headquarters, they sent him a message to his own branch to tell him not to do that. Yes, all these are accusations. He said that each time there is this kind of crusade, the number of people that come that need healing are more than the people that are healed. Guys, this is serious. This is really, really serious. He said, my problem started when they accused me, the fellow pastors. He said the fellow pastors accused him of some political issues, that he's supporting Buhari instead of Goodluck Jonathan. And look at the worst. He said, I left Christianity because of how I was treated. Guys, all these are the accusations. This Pastor Abraham Daniel, allegedly accused Pastor Dr. Enenche. We know Pastor Enenche is as someone that have built credibility, someone of integrity. But look at what a pastor is saying. Could this be true? Is this a mere accusation? I mean, when I was listening to this young man, what came to my mind is some pastors that have left the church that I'm going now, where I'm serving now, if they are to be called to be interviewed, what are they going to say? The truth of the matter is this: there's no pastor that will leave a commission that will ever say good things about that commission once the pastor left out of anger. Now, let's go into what another pastor that defended it to the core. Let's watch what ex-pastor, let's call him former pastor or ex-pastor, Pastor Olochi King Adaji. Let's hear what he said about Pastor Enenche and Dunamis. Guys, watch it out.
Pastor Abraham Daniel.
Okay.
And then he made certain allegations against the Dunamis International Gospel Center during his time as a pastor, where he claimed that pastors at the time were being pressured to perform miracles by all means, or maybe being cajoled to do fake miracles. What do you have to say? Because we know you were a pastor there for many years.
Well, why not? I was a pastor there for many years. The truth of the matter is, I don't have the details of his interview or his interviews, but I want to say that God's servant, Dr. Pastor Paul Enenche, is somebody I started following even before Dunamis started, by the mercies of God. I met him first 1993. And I was quite young that time. By the grace of God, I was together with the brother, and I saw a man that came with so much grace, a lot of anointing ministry. He was on campus that time. He was in the University of Jos as a student. So I started following him as a student. But I saw the hand of God undeniably visible on his life. And I started following him. So much so that I can tell you that I was there for his marriage in 1994. So I was there. That's to give you an idea. 1997, I had him come to be a blessing to us on campus in the University of Agriculture, Makurdi. And then I have been following. That time, Dunamis was just 1 year. And to the glory of God, like you said, I served in the Dunamis Commission for, if you see the time, I was on campus and all of that. I was already following, eating into the materials and all of that. And I can tell you that there is nothing staged there. Even when I came into the commission, I was privileged to be crusade director. So I saw the miracles, the manifestation in its raw form on crusade grounds and in the church. The truth is there is nothing staged, not in him, and he has never, and I can say this boldly and visibly and audibly, that he has never pressured anybody to fake any miracle. He has never arranged somebody to come and testify that, claim that what you have gotten is real when it is not. No, he has never done that. And I've also been privileged to serve with him as a personal assistant. So I can tell you a little about this grace and this personality. He's authentic. The grace of God on his life is wow. And that is why I still follow him till today as my father.
So,
this one is very loud, like I say. This one is very loud. Okay, the voice and the video you have just seen is former pastor, Pastor Olochi King Adaji. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce it very well. Former pastor of Dunamis, Pastor Olochi King Adaji. Pastor Olochi King came to defend all the things that Pastor Abraham Daniel said. He said there is no fake miracle in Dunamis. Guys, who is saying the truth and who is lying? We will find out. What we do here, we bring our analysis down. Then you make your own decision. That's why we are here. Pastor Adaji said, I met Pastor Enenche in 1993. He said it was in the university campus that he met Pastor Enenche. He said that was when they were still students. And since then, he had been with the pastor. Even right now, that he is no more with the church, he still submits to Pastor Dr. Enenche. Guys, this is very strong. He said there is no stage miracle in Dunamis. He said it categorically that he can defend Dunamis and he can defend Pastor Dr. Enenche that there is no stage miracle. He said, I was the crusade director and he was once personal assistant to Pastor Enenche. He said, Pastor Enenche will never do that. Come on, guys. Who is lying here? He said, I experienced my own miracle. Guys, Pastor Adaji said that he experienced his own miracle personally. Personally, he said he was married for 12 years. There was no issue. There was no child. He told the wife for them to go to and meet Pastor Enenche and give him a seat so that he can pray for them. And going there for Pastor Enenche to pray for them, the wife conceived after some time. That is his own personal encounter, his own personal miracle. He also made mention of another great miracle that he will not forget. Pastor Adaji, former Pastor Adaji, said he experienced another miracle which happened in his own face in one of the crusades. He said a traditional chief in the northern part of Nigeria. This chief had an issue where an invisible being slapped him and he couldn't hear again. But when he came to the crusade, he was healed instantly. So guys, let's put these two people together. Let's analyze this issue. Let's know who is telling lies, who is saying the truth. All right, guys, whatever I'm saying here is my own view. So please, you can tell us your own view. All these things are accusation, allegedly, because it has not been confirmed. It's just an accusation. Like I said earlier, any pastor that left a church out of problem will never say good thing about that church. That's one thing I have learned. I've been in church environment. I've been very close to pastors for more than 10 years now. One thing I have observed is, however God called you, there are people that will still feel offended. There are people that can feel offended maybe because of their own understanding, because of their own sensitivity, maybe because of what the church and the pastor is doing that is not right. Someone must be offended. And like I said earlier, I gave an instance from where I'm worshiping now. If we call an audience for any of the pastors that have left, what are they going to say about the church? Of course, they're not going to say anything good about the church. So let's dive into these matters. Let's look into Pastor S-Pastor. Let's call him S-Pastor because his own is very dangerous because he says he's no more a Christian. That one shocked me. That one made me to start to think. Someone that was a pastor and now he's saying that he's no more a Christian. Even his pastorate is questionable. Because if you have gone close to this God, if you have encountered this God, you can't say this kind of thing. And mind you, you can be a pastor and pastor a church for long, but you have not encountered God. Impossible. So the question is this. The accusation as pastor or former pastor Abraham Daniels, are these out of hatred? Are these out of being a pastor but have not encountered God? Because from my own experience, the little experience I have, if you have really encountered God, you cannot say you are no more a Christian. For Pastor Abraham Daniel to say in his interview that he's no more a Christian, that is questionable. Even his pastorate is questionable. My own view. What I'm saying is my own view. All right, let's go back to all those accusations. Let's try to discuss on these accusations. First, he said he had been a pastor for 20 years and he had been under Pastor Enenche for 10 years. And he said there are pastors that have been in the dunamis for 10 to 15 years but have not climbed the altar. Let's look into this matter. Of course, it's not only in dunamis. In many churches, it's like that. Why is it like that? Because the people, the pastors on ground is too much. The pastors on ground is too much. So, how many can be able to climb the pulpit? Secondly, there are some churches where they don't just give you a chance to climb their pulpit. They want to see how far you have grown. So for me, this could be a baseless accusation. Because it's not only in dunamis that this thing is happening. Number two, he said when people call me daddy and I don't have the capacity to daddy them, I became frustrated. What kind of capacity do you need, pastor, ex-pastor or former pastor? That is why I said on my own view, even his own pastorate for 20 years is questionable. If you have encountered God, if you have something spiritually, you cannot say you have nothing to give to daddy people that call you daddy. No, this is my view. If you have been a pastor for 20 good years, okay? If you have been a pastor for 20 good years and someone is calling you daddy and you say that you don't have capacity, pastor or former pastor, what kind of capacity do you need? You see, this is why this title, I call it title, pastor, have been abused. Because a pastor can be a pastor but have not encountered God. So how can you say you are a pastor and someone is calling you daddy and you don't have capacity to daddy them? That is my question. That is my question. Okay, that is my question. So there is other things that I want us to look into on these accusations. There are few things. He said he started free school in Dunamis, the branch he was handling, but from head office, he was told to stop that. From head office, he was told to stop that. So what is the reason why Dunamis asked him to stop that? What is the reason? So many reasons can be behind it. It could be, how is he going to manage it? It could be the mandate of the church, because I have heard so many pastors in Nigeria tell you they are not called for this, they are called for this. Pastor Enenche or Dunamis can say that they are not called for this, which is also questionable, because if there is a way to make schools free, I think it's a good thing. If there is a way to make schools to be free, not the millions people are paying in schools, because look at it in this way: the people that brought Christianity to us, the missionaries that came, the Anglican missionaries that came, the Catholic Christian missionary that came, that brought this Christianity to us, we know that time they give us free school. But now, how many churches are doing the free school? Many of us that are handling these churches today, we went to the free school of the Anglican, we went to the free school of the Catholic. But today, charismatism as we know it in Nigeria, many of them are charging very, very, very exorbitant prices on their schools. So what is the reason why Dunamis, head office, will tell this pastor to stop the free school? Yes. Another thing that this pastor said, this former pastor said, he said that the pastor is the one that will tell you what to preach. Guys, that the pastor is going to tell you what to preach. On this view, what do you think, guys? Because there is mandate. Every church have their mandate. Most of the churches, they have their manuals. They send you manuals on what to preach. You don't want to preach your own view, because you are under this church. You have to follow up. You cannot be a city without walls. You cannot be a pastor without control. You cannot be a pastor without people overseeing you. Guys, this is my view. So this one is totally, for my view, is totally baseless. Because even most of the churches are doing that right now. Catholic is doing that. They'll send you a manual on what to preach. Winners are doing that. Most of the churches in Nigeria are doing that. So pastor or former pastor Abraham Daniels, how is this one an issue? I don't get it. I don't really get it. So this is my own view. Please, you can share your own view. He said after deliverance, after all these so-called allegedly fake miracles, that people that come that need healing is more than people that were healed. I know very well that there's no way you can conduct a program or a crusade and everybody will be healed. It's not possible. There's no way everybody that comes for a service or a crusade will be healed. Some people will be healed, some people will still go back according to their faith. According to their faith. So, all these things are late accusation. I don't understand that. We don't understand that. What is happening in our churches? Why are this backlash? Why are all these things happening? A pastor will leave a church, he will come and criticize the church to the core. Yes. He said, I left Christianity because how I was treated. This is the hardest. This is the one that broke me. If you say you are living Christianity, a pastor, you say you are living Christianity because how you were treated. Come on. Your Christianity and your pastor is questionable. It's questionable. Do you know how Jesus Christ was treated? Even in his own time. Do you know what persecution Apostle Paul went through? Just mention them in the Bible. And you have carried this Bible, the same Bible that Apostle Paul went through this thing. Peter went through this thing. Jesus also went through all this persecution, but he didn't give up. You carried that Bible for 20-something years, and you say that because of what Pastor Enenche did to you, you are no more a Christian. My brother, my former pastor, even that your Christianity, even that your pastorate is really questionable. You don't have any encounter with God. That is my view. I know that there are many things that is going wrong in our churches in Nigeria especially. I know the love of money and the accumulation of finance and wealth for family have caused a lot of problem in our churches. But let's also be reminded when someone is talking out of hatred, when someone is talking out of frustration, let's be also careful about that. All right, let's go to what former pastor of Dunamis said, Pastor King Adaji. Let's go to what he said. I'm going to point out the two things that I saw that I want to, three things. First, he said that all the miracles that are happening in Dunamis are real, that Pastor Enenche don't have time for that. Yes. Another thing that I want to say here is this. This is a pastor that have personal miracle himself. 12 years of barrenness, that he took a seed, he took his wife, he took a seed and went to Pastor Enenche. And after that, his wife conceived. That is a great miracle. He also made mention of another tremendous miracle. He said a traditional chief in the northern part of Nigeria who was slapped by an unknown being. After the slap, the chief cannot hear. But when he came for their crusade, the chief was able to hear. So now we are talking about two people, two pastors that have been with the same pastor, that have been with the same man of God, Pastor Enenche. Two pastors that have worked with him. This one is giving a very bad and negative report, and the other one is giving a very good and perfect report. So guys, on my view, we really need to look into this. On my view, Pastor Abraham Daniels, I think something is wrong somewhere. If you watch his full video, okay, I was not able to play all the video here, but if you watch the full video, there are still some good things that the pastors did to him, the Dunamis did to him, for him. Okay, there was a plan he mentioned, they gave him some money and he added the money and get car for hire purchase. But there are still other things that he said. While he was in Dunamis, he went to set up a system for another pastor that have left, and he was called by Pastor Enenche to go back. And he said, Pastor Enenche said, your father's enemy is also your enemy. Guys, What do you think about all this? Please tell me what you think at comment section. What I said here are all accusations, allegedly. Is not confirmed. So whatever is your own view, what do you think about this? These two pastors, Pastor Abraham Daniel and Pastor Adaji King, who do you think is saying the truth? What do you observe from both of them? Tell me at the comment section. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. It's very important to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for being part of this great family. Be blessed. See you next time.